What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the UFL Awards and Top 5 list. We are moving on to right backs, which became an important position once UFL and Strikers patched up the positioning for the wing backs. At the beginning, it was more just stay back. They didn't do much, but now they are very dynamic. They can get involved in the attack, and they are very important for shutting down, especially right now that byline running can really help you prevent goals while also providing some assistance in the attack. So, with that being said, let's get into the 5 best right backs in the game, but we are going to start with the Bench to Beast award winner. Remember, this is for a lower rated player that once he is boosted up becomes a dominant force on the pitch. So, this player right here is a beast physically. He is good on the ball. He can truck up the field while still having that grace on the ball, which makes him hard to tackle. He also is good defensively. He's got a physical presence about him, like I said. Very shifty, too. Can stay with the shifty attackers. So just an all-around excellent player. And as you boost him up, he literally becomes just a monster overall. So, without further ado, the Bench to Beast award winner goes to Denzel Dumfries. This Netherlands international, without a doubt, is the Bench to Beast. Personal experience, you see there, I've got him all the way up to 90, and he has been awesome every step of the way. Arguably the best right back, but he's got some stiff competition. We will see where we go with that. However, as far as the Bench to Beast award, there's no doubt that he is the best lower rated wingback, right back in particular, that can be boosted up to a beast. Congrats, Dumfries. Moving on to the Meta Monster Award, which you know is the MVP right back, the best right back in the game, so he's also the number 1 player on our top 5 list. This man is a speed demon at first, that's his top quality, but as you boost him up, he becomes a force to reckon with. He is always in the consideration for top right back in any football game, and UFL is no exception. He does not have the best skill sets, but he more than makes up for it with his ability to shut down wingers coming down his side and then take the ball up the wing effortlessly on the dribble. He easily could have been the Bench to Beast award winner too, because he does start lower rated in UFL. However, because he has, for a good amount of time now, been one of the staple right backs, the go-to right backs for any player in football games in general for a while now, I felt that it was only right to give him just the Meta Monster Award. Because Bench to Beast, it doesn't sound right. It just doesn't with this player. So, without further ado, the Meta Monster Award winner, Kyle Walker. He, as you know, has been for years the top right back in the game. And the fact that in UFL, not only can you utilize his speed right off the bat, but you can boost his attributes and give him more skill sets that fit him as a right back as well. Like I said, he doesn't start with the best skill boost, but the fact that you have a Kyle Walker that you can also boost is insanity, and he absolutely just keeps getting better and better. But even with the lower stats, even without the good skills right off the bat, he is tough to beat when you're an attacker going against him down that right wing. And like I said, if he gets the ball at his feet, especially after the patch with Strikers where they fix the positioning of the wing backs, he can get that ball up the field and out of the dangerous areas in no time, connecting your defense to the attack when needed. So, congrats to Kyle Walker, the best right back in the game, easily, and the Meta Monster Award winner. Moving on to the second best right back in the game. I easily could have just skipped the award winners to add more players, but I do not want to misguide you. I mean, if you are the best lower rated player or the MVP, you should also get your spot in the top 5 list. In no world do the players get removed just because they got awards. So that's the thought process behind this next move, which is the number 2 right back in the game, Denzel Dumfries, the Bench to Beast award winner as well. But the bottom line is this: he hits all facets that you need out of a right back. He has a physical presence, right? He has great defense. He can shut down any attackers, stick with the shifty attackers, right? Bump off the stronger, larger strikers or wingers. He also can be great on the dribble as he takes the ball up the wing for you or overlaps and then gets a pass or a cross off. He's just all around a great right back, exactly what you want to see. He's dominant. He's also good in the air too. That aerial presence is many times overlooked on wingbacks, but is extremely important. There's definitely times where you wish your wingback had that ability to win balls in the air, win headers, and Dumfries absolutely has that. So without a doubt, the Bench to Beast award winner Denzel Dumfries is also the number 2 right back in UFL. Now this next player has been known for some time as well, but not always just as a right back. In fact, he bursted onto the scene as a center back and then proved himself to be an excellent right back in all football games. And in UFL, he is definitely the best stay back right back in the game. Defensively, no one is better than him, right? And the good news is, if he has the ball at his feet, he doesn't do a bad job. On the dribble, he actually can hold his own, but he does best as a stay-back defensive right back. He's excellent in the air. He's going to shut down or be able to shut down any attacker that comes his way. So, without further ado, the number 3 player on this list, only number 3 because he's a little bit more limited on the attack than the other wingbacks, but Jules Koundé comes in as your 3rd best right back in the game. Again, he can play center back as well. I didn't like him at first because when you need an aerial presence in there, he is lacking as far as just compared to the other center backs and going against some of the bigger strikers, right? Because for a center back, he's definitely on the smaller side. But his shiftiness in there and his ability to make those tackles is second to none. He can stay with any striker, many times just annoying them, being stuck to them like glue, and being able to take the ball. So whether you play him at center back or right back, especially as crosses aren't as meta, but I will say, as you guys know too, you still do need somebody to get up there and challenge players like Holland, Jackson, these other bigger strikers for the ball. So in that sense, it would probably be smart to keep Koundé as that right back because he's got a better chance at dueling it out with wingers. The only question is, do you want to make that sacrifice as far as the attacking presence of your wingbacks? If you're not worried about that, you can't go wrong with Jules Koundé. And speaking of right backs getting into the attack as well as being dynamic, this man can play both sides, left back and right back. He can also play center back and CDM. I would not recommend playing him at center back, but anywhere else he absolutely is a beast just because he's so good on the ball, so good defensively, as well as having excellent ability to distribute. His passing is very, very good. On paper, it would be hard to argue with you that he's not the best right back in game, but in game, those of you who have used him know he's just missing that aura in UFL. Plain and simple. He just doesn't have that aura as some of the other guys listed ahead of him, but nonetheless, he definitely still is the number 4, at least. You guys let me know in the comments if you disagree or agree with this, but at least the number 4 right back in UFL, João Cancelo. So he's been around, as you know, mainstay in FC. Once he went to the Saudi League, a little less because of the chemistry and stuff over there. But here, without any of that mattering, he could absolutely be viable for any team. He is still good, don't get me wrong, but he just doesn't have that aura about him. Like when defending with him, you just don't feel that presence that you do with some of the other guys ahead of him. And then I believe the lack of speed definitely plays into it. Even though he's very good on the ball, you definitely don't glide up that wing. You can tell that it's easy for the opponent to catch up, and many times it doesn't get you as much advantage as the other wingbacks that can get further up the pitch and really drive that space and make your opponents rush over to shut you down, which then opens up your other players. So, that being said, he's still the number 4 best right back in UFL, João Cancelo. Now, this 5th position could go to many players, but also many players could be, you could argue, in different places on this list that weren't even in the top 5. Your Di Lorenzo's, your Hakimis, Carvajal, who's an excellent right back. They're all very good. But I base this off of players that I used as well as players that were tough to play against. And this next player easily could have been higher up in the list because he was such a beast every time I went up against him. Whenever I was going with my left winger down that right side, especially even when I had Messi, because Messi could not win the physical battle with this man, which is why he made the list as the number 5 spot. When an opponent just rings in your head like that and you remember just having nightmares against this player, he definitely deserves a spot. So without further ado, the number 5 right back in UFL right now, Reece James. He's been around. You guys know him, especially if you come from FC. And if not, you know him from real life football. He is a physical presence. He can get up the wing. And even though his overall passing isn't the best compared to some of these other right backs, he does have good crossing, which, again, if you have a bigger striker, that's still viable. And if not, you're driving that byline and playing a short pass across, and he's definitely able to do that on top of being excellent defensively. So you can't go wrong if you are looking for a right back to switch to. Reece James is absolutely viable and 100% deserving of the number 5 best right back in UFL. So that concludes our list. Next up is left back, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. Keep grinding, keep having fun. Keep the comments coming. We've had some good shouts so far, and I can't wait to talk about those as we go through the rest of these positions. So, until next time, peace out.